enjoy the moment. That was great. So, Billy, we just did this, a year and a half ago with Laura and Greg. I promise I didn't use the same, I don't have the same one, I couldn't find it. I think I gave you a copy.
Sorry.
I mean, I feel like all the energy that just went through that, I'm out of gas a little bit here. But, okay, good evening and welcome. I'm Mark Wolf, Megan's father. My wife Maggie and I, and Barb and Jean, would like to thank everyone for coming. And we hope you have a great time tonight. I'm so glad that Tim and Megan married tonight. They have been dating since high school. I think I was surprised that Father Saban today mentioned that in church today. That goes back that far. They went to proms together. They went to Penn State together. At one point, Tim had to come back because he was deployed. So I'm not sure if everyone realizes that, well, you saw today, Tim was in the Marines, but he also was deployed, both him and Jeff, his brother, to Afghanistan and Iraq. That uniform is a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
That's Marine Pride, right? And I want to point this out because Tim is a very strong person. And I'm not talking about physically, I'm talking about mentally. The things that, when Tim says he's going to do something, you can count on it. The father kind of talked about it today, Father Saban. Tim went through the process of being baptized just a couple years ago. So he could marry Megan in that church today. And that means a lot to us. Tim has been part of our family for so long now. I know Tim well enough to know Megan is in good hands. What more can a father wish for? Speaking of Megan, you look beautiful tonight. Where are you? There you go. And that was one hell of a dance. It's got me still out of breath. So we're so proud of you, Meg. Megaroo too. I won't go any further because I'm sure somebody else is going to bring it up. For those who don't know, Megan is the youngest of 4. So we have 4 kids, all married. Megan's the last one to be married. So yes, Maggie and I are officially empty nesters. Everyone's all back. No, I'm kidding. I didn't have that on here. So Megan, like Tim, another strong person. So between the two of them, there's nothing that they can't accomplish together. We couldn't be happier for them. Let's move on for a toast. So please join me as we raise our glasses to toast Megan and Tim Goff. We all wish you much love and happiness in your new life together. And may God bless you both with love and happiness all the days of our lives. Cheers.
All right, I love it. Punctual as usual. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for our maid of honor in this morning afternoon.
All right, this is moving pretty fast. I wish I could have had one more cocktail before this, but I'm okay. I'm ready to go. You guys ready? All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Laura, Megan's sister, or maid of honor. Before I get started, let's cheers to a beautiful bride, a handsome groom, and this lovely evening. Cheers. All right, great, thank you, because that gave me an excuse for a little extra liquid courage there. As I Beth. I'm Laura, but for those of you who are close to my family, you might know me as Lori, or Butter Bop, Buddy Bop, Bobber, Bop. These are some nicknames I don't often share, and given to me by my loving parents. Let's give it up for Mark and Maggie both. Now, I'm one of four. I'm not sure that my brothers have nicknames. Sucks to suck, fellas. But most of you are, I think I'm getting an echo here. Most of you are aware of Megan's nickname that my dad did not mention. I'm glad he didn't, because this is basically my speech right here. Mega Monster. Mega Monster. As she embraces this nickname like a badge of honor, or we use it as a family excuse like, oh, I'm sorry, did she grab your cheeks and call you cute and you only met like 10 minutes ago? That's okay, that's classic Mega Monster right there. Anyway, my parents' favorite Mega Monster story is probably when we were babies and she apparently ripped my hair out for about 3 hours on her way to the shore. And I, being the angelic child that I am, just endured it. That automatically made me the, can I give that to you? that automatically made me the favorite for the next 26 years. So thank you, Megan, thank you. I am the favorite. Now, my favorite Mega Monster stories. These are quite different. But how can I possibly sum up 26 years of stories with approximately 9,000, what should I do here? I'm echoing. 9,000 fights, 695 slammed doors, 396 hair pulls, 515 moms, only 19 dad, 85 drop chairs, 13 knife chases to help side. Just kidding. Not really, but okay. But there are also stories with 800,000, I'm sorry I was a brat. 65,000 sleepovers, I'm just estimating here, guys. 3 billion laughs with 6 billion death grip hugs. 100,000 attempts not to burst out laughing while trying to act ashamed, and then 1 million failed attempts at that. 3,000 scratchbacks, 50,000 movie quotes, Buddy Neal, what's your favorite color? 1,000 stolen outfits, and an endless supply of inside jokes. I could go on forever, seriously, but your drinks are low out there, so I'm going to move this along. Because there is another person to this story. That is a Mr. Tim Goff. Or, give it up for the group, Tim Goff. Now, I was first introduced to him, or like the idea of him as Timmy Goff. Timmy Goff is what I've never called him that, I think, in my life, but that is what I first heard, is Timmy Goff. Now, this story takes place, and I'll be quick, I promise. It takes about 12 years ago. The first time I remember Megan talking about Tim, I was sitting in front of my mirror, putting on my makeup. Megan walks in, she pops on my bed, she starts complaining about a boy. All I remember her saying was, "He's just so hot." I stop what I'm doing, I look up, I'm like, oh my God. Okay, Meg, what do you want to do about this? Do you want to date him? I don't know, but he's just so hot. True story, swear to God. Now let's fast forward, maybe like a month later. My parents are in Jamaica. I come home at a very reasonable hour from a date with my now husband, Gregory, to a pretty ticked off brother. I will not name names. Jason. He had just gotten off the phone with my parents. He wanted to say goodnight to all of us. But the monster was not home. So, long story short, Greg and I go get her at a party. It was a totally innocent party. I think they were all playing like Parcheesi, something like yeah. So it was all good. Anyway, this is where I officially meet Tim. Just long enough to give him the death stare. Like, oh. Now, there is a very different account, whoever you talk to, about whether I was the hero or the villain of this story. But nonetheless, I got a very unhappy Megan into the car. Now, of course, being sisters, we are furious with each other. And just after a few minutes of silence go by, she announces to Greg and I like Timmy Goff. I love you. Love you. And that was it. That was it. After that moment, they had been inseparable. As high school sweethearts, with 10 plus years of dating, not to mention, I went old school in the middle paper, guys. Not to mention 10 previous years of knowing each other through family, 1 tour of duty in Iraq, college, Zoe, buying a house together, then ripping that house apart to make it the beautiful home that they have now. No one can deny that they have been through it all. I'm at the end, don't worry. And it's only made their relationship stronger. Tim, you are such a good person. I am so happy that Megan thought you were incredibly hot all of those years ago. Because now I get to call you my brother officially, and I couldn't be happier. Megan Elizabeth, I can't say too much because I really don't want to cry, and I'm doing a really good job. Because if you know me, I'm such a sap. So I'm like really proud of myself right now. But you are my favorite person in this world. Don't do that. In conclusion, today wasn't about the next step for these two. Today is their finally forever. And my God, are they going to have such a beautiful forever? Whew. Megan and Tim, you are blessed to have met and blessed to have fallen in love. And we are all blessed to be here. May God continue to bless your marriage and you both. I love you guys. To the bride and groom.
Ladies and gents, our maid of honor, Miss Gloria Carino.
All right. Good evening, everyone. DJ Classic, thanks for the intro. But just so that everyone here is clear, I do need an introduction to some people in particular. Megan, I'm looking at you. See, what happens is usually at family parties, Megan will come over to me and, throw an arm around me or just post up against me and be like, hey, you want to help me cut Zoe's hair tomorrow? Or what are we doing for lunch tomorrow? I'm just like, ugh. I don't know. I think you got the wrong brother. And she does. She very often thinks that I am Tim. So for those of you who don't know me, I am not Tim's doppelganger. I'm not his twin. I'm his older brother, Jeff. Anyway, so speaking of Megan, Laura, that was a great speech. And I hope I can match up to that. But let me tell you how the real story of Tim and Megan went. Okay? So long before Tim ever met Megan, I met Megan. So I got to start hanging out with this knucklehead here, Jason Bulk, when I was about 13 years old. That makes Megan about 6 or 7 years old. She was pretty identical to Tim as a little toddler. She would run around, instigate her brothers, try and hang out with us all the time, but really just get us in trouble. See, this is where I think the real story or the mix-up really started. So Megan saw me and Jason running around with our pretty cool bowl cuts, and Megan thought to herself, man, this guy is so cool. Apparently really hot, too. She was like, hey, I gotta get me one of them. Well, luckily for Megan, there was one in a grade above her. He had a similar hairdo to me. It was pretty dope bowl cut. And she was in luck. So Megan actually started going after Tim. It was really a perfect storm because simultaneously, like around the same age, Tim would do anything that Jeff did. So I copied my every move and really just tried to be friends with all of my friends. Again, at the time, one of my best friends, well, still one of my best friends, but was Jason Bulk. So Tim thought to himself, I should really find me a Bulk. And guess who was going after him at the same time? So really, this is all because of me. You're welcome. All right, Tim, or Tom if you want. He's not going to correct you, don't worry about it. We did have some fun growing up. All boys in the house, obviously other than my mom and essentially her cousin Amanda. But mainly just boys running around doing their thing, except Tim was really doing my thing. Like I said, he did everything I did. Luckily, I had parents who, before the age of smartphones, captured a lot of these on camera. So if you don't mind, there should be about 4 per table, but you should have a little booklet under your charger that you guys can share. I was trying to save some trees. So hopefully you guys have enough. I would have preferred a PowerPoint, but there's no projector here. That's kind of what I did. All right. So let's start out walking through all the times that Tim copied off of me. Now again, he doesn't really deny this, but I just wanted to show some proof. So you can see we're taking some family pictures here, and Tim thinks it's so funny that I'm giving Sean bunny ears. He has to do the same thing. On the left there, you can see Tim was really trying to get jacked up like me. He can't even hold the baseball bat right, but he's trying. That picture with the dresses, now, I'll have to confess, I was really trying to shape Tim. I was like, what can I do that he won't do? How can he dress up in a dress and high heels, thanks to my cousin Amanda? Tim hopped right into that dress. He was like, hey, if Jeff's doing it, it's cool. So, many of you don't know, but I was born on Halloween. It's my favorite holiday. Well, it's always kind of stressful to pick out what you're going to be on Halloween, right? Well, Tim never has that problem. He takes a picture of Jeff and says, oh, what was he last year? A ninja? I'm going to be a ninja. So that's Tim and Phil there in their ninja outfits. I don't know who's in the middle. Yeah, I was really proud of the St. Patty's Day beard I grew. Tim stole that from me. Then, here's just a great example of our bowl cuts. This is what Megan went after, everybody. Just so we're clear, this is the hot guy. That bowl cut right there. Again, in the soccer uniforms, I'm not even sure Tim played soccer. I think he just dressed up like that and did the pose. I'm not sure. I did run around dressed as a cowboy as a kid. Figured Tim would never copy me. I'm wearing a cowboy hat, I got my boots on. No, he donned it. That cowboy hat, no problem. I'm in a land of Eagles fans, and I'm a Cowboys fan. But I have this little kid that's copying me. So what do? I brainwashed him. Like, you know what? I need a fellow Cowboys fan. So I wore everything Cowboys and happily passed it down. Deal with it. Worked out great, 5 Super Bowls. Anyway, so on the right-hand side here, I think this is one of my favorites, okay? So you have this family picture up top. Everybody's really happy except for Tim. He's got his pouty face on, not really very happy, until he moves next to Jeff. He's sitting next to Jeff and he's happy as a clam. He's rocking that family picture. So the last page here is just Tim trying to steal my friends. So you can see a pretty cool picture of me and Jason at some sort of formal. I don't know what we were doing. And then Tim, stealing my high school friends, stealing my Marine buddies, just doing everything that I do. So that's a little bit about me and Tim. Alright, so we all know he's copied me my whole life. There was this guy, Charles Caleb Colton, I don't know who that is, but he once said, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. It may have taken me over 20 years to realize it, but having Tim constantly following me, copying my every move, has been truly one of my life's greatest gifts. From Tim getting into lifting with me, someone there behind me, trying to keep up, always motivating me. I'm sure Mr. Bulk didn't appreciate it when his 16-year-old kid with abs was chasing Megan, but it's alright. Obviously, one of the points that made us the closest was when Tim joined the Marines. We were deployed together, as you guys have heard, and that really made us close. We have some great stories, which I won't get into. And then lastly, as I mentioned before, following my steps, one of my best friends, Jason Bulk, I'm glad that Tim finally found one of his best friends, another Bulk, Megan Bulk. So Tim, you really are one of my best friends, after Jess and Jackson. So I truly am happy that you were relentless growing up. You did not give up. For 32 years now, you've been trying to be like me. We've already been mistaken once tonight. Where are you? Tim and Megan, you guys are perfect for each other, as evidenced by your first dance. You're the perfect mix of goofball and fun. And Megan, you fit into our family for the longest time. I'm so happy that these two great families are coming together, and I couldn't be happier for that little 6 to 7-year-old rugrat that wouldn't leave me and Jason alone to be joining our family. So on behalf of me and my brothers, I'd like to welcome Megan as our sister. Congrats, you two.
Ladies and gents, our best man, Mr. Jeff Goff.